Raise your hand if you're part of a professional learning community at your school site. Okay, keep your hand up if it's really a professional learning community that you identify with. Okay. Raise your hand if you're part of a larger community teacher professional development network. Okay, so what are you part of?
K-12 Alliance.
K-12 Alliance? I know Rachel.
The California Science Project and San Diego.
Who else? Another network of other teachers in a professional development network? Okay, so that's what the California Science Project is. And there are sites all throughout California. And we work together using research-based methods to link universities, schools, and districts together in partnerships to support teachers in translating all that legislation into actual classroom practice in STEM, focusing on academic English language development, and really trying to create a pool of expert teacher leaders. And so this is happening throughout the state. This is where the San Diego Science Project is focused, down here in San Diego and Imperial counties. Currently, I'm also the Fleet Inquiry Institute Project Director at the Ruben H. Fleet Science Center. I'm actually transitioning out of that in the next month, but the Ruben H. Fleet Science Center remains a very important piece of the UC San Diego Science Project, providing summer institutes based on the work of the Exploratorium in San Francisco, basics of inquiry, student engagement, student-based questions in the science classroom and hands-on science. To give you an idea of the uniqueness of these type of science projects that are throughout the state focused on teacher leadership and teacher development, they're often in multiple places. So here we have at the UCSD, here we have in Balboa Park, working with the multiple museums, bringing teachers together to look at student work, to look at informal learning spaces, and to talk to each other about what's working and not working in their classroom. And then also spending time at sites, working with administrators, and knowing what's really happening on the ground in the classroom. Now I'm giving you kind of a broad umbrella of the science project because it is a broad project, and it actually is building capacity just these past couple of years in San Diego to shift and grow to meet the needs of the teachers in the region. We just took on a co-director, Melanie Villanueva, who's a teacher in Sweetwater Union, and she is going to really be working on the secondary piece of the science project, which has predominantly been focused on elementary and middle school. You can follow us. We do lots of fun stuff. Rachel tweets, and she's on the Facebook page and doing all sorts of things. But just want to share this image with you of how we think of teacher leadership and why we work with teachers to ultimately support students. We have a teacher here in a room at the Ruben H. Fleet Science Center called the Teacher Think Tank, and she is notebooking after working through some hands-on science and trying to make sense of why, this might be very familiar to some people in the room, why is this ice melting faster on this black block versus this other black block? I wonder what's going on. What does it really mean to transfer heat? And what is heat? And is there a thing such as cold? And drawing to try and explain her model, that was one that we call the Institute. Then you see the students in that same classroom working through that, because the teacher as a learner has worked through that. And I know that's a model that a lot of professional development uses, so I just want to really emphasize that it's the teacher as a learner then translating to that in the classroom. The San Diego Science Project is at UCSD, housed in CREATE, and Barbara is as well, she will talk about that. The Center for Research in Equity and Assessment for Teaching Excellence. I'm kind of over acronyms. I like ones like intersections that don't really stand, that just kind of explain what things are instead of the acronym they're always hard to remember. And the focus at CREATE is broadening participation. And our recent focus has been in STEM, K through 20. How do you broaden participation in the K through 20 pipeline? And who are we supporting? And who's being left out? And what can we do about that by linking university resources to our great teacher networks, both in Math for America and also in the Science Project. And the other professional development communities housed at CREATE, which include the San Diego Area Writing Project, the California Reading and Literature Project, and that's it, right?
You also have all the TRIO programs.
Yes, and then we have TRIO, Early Academic Outreach. So we're really working on the high school and the college.
Okay.
Questions?
Yeah. Do you have a handout?
I do not, but I do have contact information there. And that's why I put the Gmail, because I'm working with the fleet right now to think about, rethink how the professional development there can be sustainable in the way that makes sense to continue as part of the science project. But then we also have next generation science standards, NSF funded work we're doing. We have high school lesson study. This is a larger umbrella of multiple projects. And so at the moment, this is the easiest way to reach me. There's no H in my name though, so if you do put an H there, it just goes and it doesn't tell you that it's wrong. So it is ChristinaTrecha. And it's, yeah, you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook. And I think there'll be some exciting stuff in the near future with this project. Yes.
We've worked together before on the
Yes.
math project, and I was wondering if there's any plans, or could there be, where we can pull together another STEM focus opportunity for CTE ROP teachers and maybe around the science students.
I do believe there will be, and that's something that I was mentioning to you earlier. So right now with the new STEM Success Initiative coming out of CREATE, we have a lot of folks at UCSD who are saying, well, I go and lecture in this class, but I'd really like to do more. How do I do more? How can I get into the schools that we really know that we need to get into? And we had a professor who was doing all this great stuff with beach physics, and he had all these great ideas, and I want kids to go film stuff on the beach, and we're going to do beach physics. Oh, but those kids don't have video cameras, so we need to be at a school that has video cameras. And you shift that and you say, that school does have video cameras, and they're in their CCTV or just CCTV classrooms. So how can we link those teachers? And then how can we bring in the ELA teacher? We're going to bring in the math